Hey, this is Scott with Graying with Grace. On today's episode of Graying with Grace TV, we're going to take a closer look at the LegXercise PRO and help you decide if it's the best leg exerciser for you. So let's get started. So what does the LegXercise PRO do? The manufacturer, Intellibrands, claims that the device will soothe pain and discomfort, reduce swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, and stimulate healthy blood flow. But it's very important you understand upfront what this device does and what it doesn't do. It provides passive movement to your feet, meaning the device will move your feet for you. It's nothing you're going to get buff from. You're not going to increase muscle mass in your legs, and you're not going to feel the burn. It's not designed for cardiovascular workout. It's designed for people who are living a more sedentary life, who have poor circulation or leg cramps, and it gives them an opportunity to get their feet moving while doing other passive tasks like watching TV or sitting at a desk. So I just wanted to be upfront with you about what this device does and what it does not do. So once you take it out of the box, you have, of course, your main unit. You'll have your owner's manual. You'll have the remote control, and of course your power adapter. So to get the machine working, first flip it over to the back. You'll notice here you have these two incline legs. These provide a little bit of angle. While using the device, flip both those up. You take your power cord. Power cord plugs into this location here. Plug that into the hole, run that through the track. That keeps the unit flat while you're using it. And then the remote control plugs in over here to the side. And then just flip it back over. And then the device is ready to use. So now that you've got the device set up and ready to use, you want to set it square on the floor in front of you. You want to place your feet onto the 2 foot pedals. Your indicator here, of course, telling you the machine is off. Grab your remote. You got speed option 1, speed option 2, and then your off button. So let's go ahead and use speed number 1. So as you can see, the device will move your feet back and forth for you. You don't want to force these. You don't want to push these. Then you've got your movement indicator here that tells you how many movements you've made. Now, to be honest with you, I have seen this referred to as a step counter. To me, this is not a step counter. This is not a normal step for most people, unless you're someone with a shuffling style gait. So these aren't full steps, but still it's a good indicator of how much movement you've gotten. It's good if you like to set goals. And another caution with that is when you do turn the machine off, the counter does go away. So if you're the type of person that likes to record these type of things in a log or likes to keep track of how many movements, just make sure you've noted how many movements you've made before turning the machine off. So let's turn it back on again. For number 1 setting, when I did this test, I let it run for 30 minutes and it did almost 1,600 movements. On a speed 2, I'll show you what that looks like. A little bit faster. And that did 2,200 movements in 30 minutes. Okay, let's talk about your safety while using the LegXercise PRO. First of all, you should always talk with your doctor before you're starting any kind of new exercise regimen or using a device like this. You should never stand on a device. Again, when it's moving, that's nothing you want to be standing on, something that's going to be moving for you. This is not an elliptical machine, so always be seated while using the device. Never force the device to move. If you do, you're going to hear those motors grinding and groaning. That's going to cause the machine to fail, cause those motors to potentially burn out. Be careful about these cord placements. Make sure these are out of the way, especially as you're getting up and down after using the machine. And then also keep the machine out of the way when you're not using it. If you finish using it, maybe push it over to the side before you get up and down, just to minimize your risk of stepping or tripping over the device and falling. So what do I think of the LegXercise Pro? I found it to be simple to set up and extremely easy to use. Almost any senior or elderly person will feel comfortable using it. The tech is very basic. There's nothing off-putting about it, just some simple buttons on a remote control. And the remote control buttons and the movement counter are both easy to see. So does it work? Well, honestly, I'm not a doctor and I don't typically have leg pain, so I can't give you a glowing testimonial that it healed me. But I can see how it would help sedentary elders get some movement in their feet and legs and get some blood flowing back in those areas. Just be realistic about what your goals are and what this machine does. It does provide passive movement. You're not going to build muscle. This isn't going to get your heart rate up. It's not going to be a cardiovascular workout. Its main idea is just to get blood flowing and circulation back in your lower extremities. So the pros of the LegXercise Pro, it's entirely passive. It does the work for you. Just press a simple button on a remote control and the machine does the work. Easy setup, very easy to use. The buttons in the display are all easy to see. There's 2 speeds, so you can choose the speed you're most comfortable using the machine with. And the remote has a cord, so it won't get lost. There's no batteries to buy. Now there's also a drawback. Because of the cord, this is a potential trip hazard. So you want to make sure the cord is out of the way anytime the machine's being used or while you're setting up or moving the machine. Some other cons are, because of this pedal spacing, if you're a larger person or you have larger legs or you have trouble keeping your legs together, these pedals are so close that you may not be able to keep your feet together on the machine at all times. So your feet may tend to go out towards the edges. It is a bit noisy, so if you're using it in a quiet environment like an office, you may hear some complaints. Home use shouldn't be a problem at all. Might need to crank up the TV remote a notch or 2, but it'll be fine in a home setting. The counter does reset to 0 as soon as you touch the off button, so make sure that you've recorded that number or you know that number before turning the machine off if you're the kind of person that likes to track that information. There were some complaints on the internet about the remote control cord being short. I didn't find that. I'm 5'8". I had this sitting on the floor when I was using it, and I was able to stretch this remote control up to my shoulder. So I didn't find that it was so short that it made the machine difficult to use. And the cords, watch the cords, power cord and your remote cord again, because those could both be trip hazards. So do I recommend the LegXercise Pro? I do recommend it for seniors and elderly people with circulation problems and leg and foot pain. It's a safe, passive workout when the machine is used correctly and safely. It can be used even when watching TV. Just be realistic about what your goals are and what this machine does, and just make sure that those 2 things do match based on the other comments in this video. If you'd like to learn more about the LegXercise Pro, or you're interested in purchasing it, I've put some links down in the description field below. Please note these are affiliate links, and if you do purchase anything from these links, I will be paid a commission. I was sent this device at no charge by the LegXercise. However, I was not paid any money or any compensation for making this video and this review, and the opinions are my own. Thanks. Thanks for watching today's episode of Graying with Grace TV. If you'd like to read the full review of the LegXercise Pro, you can do that over at the blog at grayingwithgrace.com, or you can use the link I've put in the description below. If you'd like to ask a question about the product, or if you would like to share your own personal experiences with it, please do that down in the comments below. For content like this, or you're interested in products that are helpful for seniors, the elderly, and the people who love them, just hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification anytime new content's available. Thanks again for watching.